I found the 7 Deadly Sins one day when I should have been studying for my final exams. It was 2015 and it was my final year of high school. I was looking for something to watch on Netflix and I just so happened to stumble upon this show. I then proceeded to spend the next 9 hours or so watching the complete season 1 and just absolutely falling in love with the characters and the ideas this show presented. The world was just fascinating to me, but now you take us to the present day of the year 2020. And something's just gone horribly wrong. Right, so let's start from the beginning. I'd like to go over my thoughts on the manga, the story's emotional impact, the games of the franchise, and how we arrived to the point that we are right now, where I'm too scared to watch season 3. I'm too scared to start this journey. So for me to start this story, I'll start with my story of the show. As we just went over, I found the 7 Deadly Sins in my final year of high school. Then I rewatched the show with my now ex, and only took us about a week or so to get through. This was early 2016, then suddenly, when I was going through Netflix again in 2017, I saw there was a season 2, and I was super excited until I realized it was just 4 episodes of filler. This is where I'll quickly touch on the fact that I've only currently been watching the show in its English dub. I know other people can disapprove of this enjoyment of this entertainment, but it's everyone's personal bias, and I just prefer the fact that I can watch it in my own language and be able to multitask and look at my phone without missing a line of the show. Just because I looked away for 5 seconds, it's just a luxury I don't want to get rid of. Now that that's out of the way, let's go through about halfway through 2018. I start the show again from the very beginning with my girlfriend, my now fiance. After a few weeks, we get through all 3 seasons. I know there's only 2 seasons, I'm just referring it to the Netflix way of them doing it. So from this point on, I'll be calling season 1, season 2, shitty filler, and season 3, season 2, season 4, season 3. Just with the naming convention that Netflix gave us. We good now? Then we're looking at late 2019. I've watched through the show at least 2 more times between my lunch breaks at work. I've bought the first 2 copies of the manga and read ahead of the story in the manga online to about chapter 245 or so. Season 3 has now started and it's been bad. Extra note, the movie has come up, but again, that's just something I'll touch on at another point. I've watched it a couple times. I think it's a good movie. I've got a few opinions about it, but we'll get to that when it comes to that point of its journey. I've only really seen what people have been putting on Twitter, but fuck me, dude. It must be just a bad joke. Hopefully by the time of me getting through the history of 7 Deadly Sins to the point of the show that we're actually up to, the DVDs have reanimated it or something. I hope there's something that gets done to fix this beautiful show. So with that out of the way, we're done with my current history of the franchise. So apart from the video games, but we'll get there, I promise. Let's get reviewing the 7 Deadly Sins manga. It is worth noting I am taking some inspirations from Mystic Fusion and his video series on Dragon Ball Dissection, but hopefully I'll be taking enough different approaches that it's not a complete carbon copy, and obviously it is a different medium, so there's a lot of factors in it. The last thing before we get started into this series, because this is the epilogue, this is part 0, I'll be ranking where I like the story arcs and where we're going through with the manga one at a time. For example, arc 1 will start at first place, but then when we finish arc 2, it will either go straight to second place or take first place, knocking arc 1 to the second. Hopefully this scaling makes a bit of sense to you guys, and you can see why I'm doing it, because I'll be rating the story as I go through. I won't be ranking the video games and movies between one another, as I don't currently have enough to justify this, so I'll just be doing a standard A, B, C, D ranking for those parts of the media. Great. With all that out of the way, let's finally get into reviewing the first arc of the 7 Deadly Sins. The plot arc, I guess. God, this story's gonna jump from place to place, isn't it, with its arcs? Next time, the 7 Deadly Sins, the beginning, the plot. You thought the video was over? If you didn't know, I stream on twitch.tv/SimpleAttack, and you can see me from Tuesdays at 9 AM, Wednesdays at 7 PM, Thursdays at 4 PM, and Fridays again at 7 PM. Also, did you know that I have a Discord that you can join? Click the link down below to get in on that and join an awesome community of people. Before I forget to say as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tick that notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos. Also, pretty cool, if you like that little logo up there, you can actually get that slapped on some merch. Check it out. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can also go support me on Patreon, and you can see the interesting developments that we have with the random token generator, and also with the art that I'll be making. And last but not least, we've got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Feel free to follow me on any of those social media platforms. Twitter is probably the one that I'll use most commonly, and then you'll be able to interact with me on a daily basis. Apart from that, thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace out.